the correct link, which it does. So I'm going over to Facebook. I'm going to press share in a second.
Sounds good.
And more options. Share to newsfeed. Post. Right. Okay. And that means that within 34 seconds, it's actually been shared, which may or may not improve the views. But when this countdown clock is finished, you and I should be on screen. If I,
Fine.
oh yeah, it's persistent. I've said this before. I think it's like deja vu, isn't it? Already. To stop us going into that, we say hello to Chris. Chris, thanks for joining us.
Hi, Chris.
Now we've got 4 videos to show you today by BeLivers on broadcasting to YouTube. And Nick, would you like to talk about the first one as I attempt to get it on screen?
Yes, first up we've got Kim O'Neill, who has a great little show once a week, has guests on. She's a great hostess. And actually, I interviewed her on my show a couple of months ago. Really lovely lady. And today she's talking to Dr. Zuma, I think it is. And yeah, she plays around with the screen. She doesn't mind having it as a 2 or a 3, swapping them about. And that, I think, with like a kind of a pattern interrupt, is a really good way of actually keeping people engaged. So she's a great exponent of this.
Watch out for that. As we take the video full screen, turn Nick's microphone off, turn mine off, and press play.
All right, and welcome to day 16 of Rise and Shine, creating 2020 vision. Today is day 6 of our mindset conversation, and today I have with me Dr. Zulmara Maria. Welcome, Zulmara.
Oh, welcome. Thank you. It's really a pleasure to be here this morning with all of you.
It absolutely is. So I'm going to go ahead and share with everyone who you are in a teeny tiny little nutshell.
Okay,
and
thank you.
Yes. And so Zulmara Maria, Dr. Zulmara Maria is an award-winning educator and inspirational speaker who creates signature programs to help individuals reach their personal, professional, and creative goals. She is also the founder of International Latina Gratitude Day and Latina Gratitude Month. And you can find out more about her by going to zulmaramaria.com. Zulmara, you are fascinating.
Oh, thank you.
She was just sharing with me before the show that she's doing a big gratitude thing right now. And I just yesterday learned that you founded International Latina Gratitude Day. Tell us about that.
So this is our 7th year. So about 6 years ago, I started doing abrazos, daily abrazos, and I send out a daily abrazo every day. That's a hug. And during Latina Heritage Month, which is September 15th through October 15th, I did my abrazos around gratitude, and I developed a whole protocol around gratitude. And then on the last day of Latina Heritage Month, on October 15th, we actually celebrate International Latina Gratitude Day, where we get together and everybody just pleasures what they're grateful for, and how this gratitude commitment for the month has helped them and or changed them throughout the day, throughout the month. And then we just work on keeping our gratitude practice up, because to me, that's where, and the topic of mindset to me was really important, because that's where your mindset begins to shift. So when I'm working with people and they're telling me they're having a hard time, or they have a monkey mind, or things aren't going very well, and I always work with them on starting with gratitude. Start with 5 things you're grateful for, and help to calm that monkey mind down and help to shift your mindset. So to me, gratitude is the cornerstone of mindset, because when you can get yourself into that space of gratitude, it really makes a difference. So I suggest during the Gratitude Commitment Month, and I post a a gratitude, an affirmation, and an affirmation. And the affirmation is asking yourself a question and letting your mind roam to the answer, and always having your mind go to a positive answer, because that helps you with all of your practices.
I love that. I have here, is this one of your abrazos?
Yes, that's one of the abrazos. Yes. Yes.
So I just popped on the screen. This is an abrazos, a Zolmara Maria quote. It says, "When you take time to be grateful, you feed your heart, your spirit, your soul. An abrazo, your divine self."
Yes. And so then I will take that to another level, and then I will create an affirmation with that. That'll be something like, I appreciate the life I've been gifted. And then I will then do an affirmation with it, which is a question. And, why have I been gifted such an incredible life? And so for people who are struggling, it really helps to shift your mindset from thinking about all of your struggles to, you know what, I have been gifted an incredible life. Because anytime you take a moment to just think about your blessings and you start counting them, you start realizing, wow, I really have been blessed. Even with all of the other things going on, you start thinking, oh, it's not that bad. I've really been blessed. And from that space, you can then move on to other things, because you're shifting your mindset from being in that crazy space that some of us are in right now. And I see it a lot with people that I've talked to. I see it a lot on Facebook, where people are getting angry, they're getting upset, they're just, or they're getting depressed, or they're coming from a place of despair. And I breathe, and and just be grateful for the blessings you've been gifted, and then go from there. And so, yeah, all month I'll be posting those posters. I have the different posters, one for every month, and with each of the posters comes an affirmation and an affirmation. And I suggest that people either start the day or end the day with them, as a way of just quieting your mind.
Unmute microphones, and we're back.
Yeah. No, I love it. It's
Yeah.
so colourful.
I mean, yeah, definitely. Like, I love the set, and Kim's attention is on her guest the whole time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Even when she's swirling those around, that's the impressive thing. But she's still, looking in the camera, focusing on her guest. Brilliant.
And chap called Nick Wood said, "Loving this." So there you are. I had to get that on screen. And then Chris is saying, "So true." And Mizanur, welcome. My apologies for mangling your name. It's nice to see you, and thank you for joining us. Right. Okay. So that was video number 1. Now we've got one more video, which I've chosen. So I'm going to hide that one. And I'm going to bring my first video up on screen. And this is by a friend of ours, Janet Smith.
Oh, yeah. She's great.
And she is, yeah. And you're going to see why Janet is great. And without further ado, let's listen to Janet by taking the video full screen, switching off my mic.
Are you someone that wants to level up your career but not quite sure exactly how to go about doing it? Do you see other people doing it but you're not sure how they do it either? Well, keep watching and listening to Talent Smith's Lunch and Learn Live as I share with you how you can plan your personal brand intentionally. Mhm. Hello, everyone. Janet Smith here of Talent Smiths, and this is Lunch and Learn Live. Welcome. Talent Smiths is a place where we help organizations and compensation professionals mesh together for a match. We help fill contract hire, direct hire positions for different organizations. And here at Lunch and Learn Live, we help all professionals with intentional steps to get your career on track or back on track with interview prep, personal professional development as well. This month, all this month, we've been sharing with you productive and productivity tips for you. Mhm. And let's go into week 4 so that I can share with you even more. If you're new to Talent Smith's Lunch and Learn Live, you can catch us every Thursday during your lunch hour. Depending upon what time you take lunch, you can hang out with us and get your questions answered in the comments. You'll find me over in the comments. Welcome to week 4 of being productive in the pandemic. This is week 4, and if you've missed week 3, 2, or 1, you can go and watch the replay of those live streams where I talk to you about productivity music, productive workspace, productivity apps, and today we're talking about productive planning. Mhm. You can check out this schedule here over on our Facebook business page, Talent Smith's Facebook business page, so that you can see the whole schedule, see all the schedule, and you can review any weeks that you may have missed. You want to go back and watch those weeks that you may have missed. And in week 4, we're talking about productive planning. Mhm. Intentional productive planning for you. Let me go into more details and let you know what I mean by that. So, I want you to stay tuned to the end because I have a sneak peek for you, a sneak peek of Talent Smith's 2021 digital planner. Yes, 2021 digital planner. You can get a sneak peek video to just peek inside, see what that's going to look like. It's a productive planner for you to level up your career. Mhm. And I'll also share with you how you can get your very own working to the beat pullover hoodie so that you can be productive while you're working at home, while you're working remotely. You can use some of that productivity music that we talked about in week 1 to have a productive work day. Mhm. Or a productive experience, no matter what you're doing. If you're working at home, if you're working in the office, or even if you're exercising, you can have a productivity music playlist. So, we're going to talk about.
Yeah,
Right,
love it.
we're back. Yeah, she's just so, I mean, she's so at ease on camera. She's just absolutely brilliant. And we're going to say thank you because we're going to start to be proactive from going forward. So far, we've been playing videos and learning as we're going along because we learn from Janet every time because of the sets that she puts together and the topics that she actually talks about. But we're going to take Janet's video off the screen and come back to just Nick and I. And I'm going to screen share. So I'm going to go to screen share and go to a Chrome tab, and we're going to bring up on screen, fingers crossed. We're going to bring up on screen. Oh, I've got to cross my fingers. We're going to bring up on screen. This is the video that you've just been watching. And what we're going to do from now on is we're going to be proactive.
Yeah.
So I'm going to scroll down the page. And you can see as I scroll down, Janet's got all the links in there for the video and for the planner. So you can get to the planner, and we're going to place a comment at the bottom. And this is one I prepared earlier. This video was highlighted. I need to put an H in there, highlighted. In today's BeLive on YouTube show with the link to the show. Now, this comment will increase Janet's reach on YouTube, and it will also increase our reach on YouTube. So it's a win-win situation. So after we finish this broadcast, we're going to all 4 videos, and actually just leaving a comment. So comment first, and then I think I've already done it, but in case I haven't, just scroll back up and like the video. Now, if you do these 2 things on videos that you watch, then you're helping the person who created the video. And it's coming back to the 3 of us on screen.
That's a great idea, Stephen.
Thank you. It's a simple but effective step forward. The thing is that we watch so many things and we click the like button and think we've done our bit, but doing our bit is just leaving a comment.
Yeah.
And each of the shows we actually show is going to have 2 more comments than it did before, and in most cases that's 2 comments in total, and that's the problem, is getting people to actually comment. And Chris is saying, and Chris is the exception that makes the rule. The colors that Janice has chosen are super. Chris comments on everything, which is wonderful, because it's the comments that actually make the difference. So Nick and I have got proactive and are commenting everywhere. So if you see one of our comments, you can like it. You can add your comment.
Exactly. It's a comment rule. Everyone can share.
Yeah. If you we'll put the links into the broadcast afterwards. If you enjoyed watching the snippets that we've shown, then just hop over to YouTube and leave a comment there as well. Because commenting here, brilliant, we love it. Commenting on the YouTube video helps everybody, and it gets your name known as well. If you've got a YouTube account, then the more comments you make on other people's YouTube videos, well, you just create an opportunity for people to click on your name, go to your channel, subscribe to your channel, and like your first video. And we know that happens. So,
and these are like basic rules of networking to a degree. You know, just go and say something nice if you like it, and share, and other people will see it.
Yeah, true. And it just takes a second or 2 to actually do it. I mean, I know I did a cut and paste there, but I did write it out. Yeah. So, right. Okay. And on with the show and video number 2. I'm just going to try and find it. Okay. Bring it up on screen. And Nick.
Yes, this is the great debate. Now, I've got to admit, I was a little bit nervous when I first thought I'd look at it because of the topic. You know, I'm not I only know what I see on the news, and that can always be slanted in one direction or another. But actually, this is a really fascinating, and it's an ongoing debate, and it really is interesting. It's very well thought out, and unfortunately, I just cannot think of the guy who hosts its name, but he's really good. He's very, very attentive to what his guests are saying, and will always, you know, just pre-frame things with basically, you know, this is one person's opinion, another person's opinion. Someone else will think something else. And so he keeps it what is potentially quite a volatile discussion, potentially. He keeps it very, very relaxed, chilled, and actually makes some really interesting viewing. I think this one's nearly 2 hours long, and I sat and watched it.
Right. Well, we'll bring it up on screen, full screen. And so we don't get an echo, I'm going to mute Nick's microphone and mute my microphone, and then press play. Let's join Daniel and Mohammed.
We're live. I'm in the middle of a little kombucha explosion. That's how we're going to start this episode. I was going to say I wanted this episode to be sponsored by Hatha Kombucha, an awesome kombucha company here in Israel. They didn't give me any money, but I like their product, so I was going to shout them out, but then they exploded everywhere. This is Kiwi Lime Kombucha. You can find them on Instagram. It seems to be the yellow kiwi. That's new and it's in. And for those who don't know what kombucha is, it's fermented tea. It's high in probiotics, supposedly healthy. But why the hell are we talking about kombucha? This is the Great Debate. We're here to have a vibrant conversation. Welcome, everybody. For those who are here for the first time, what is the Great Debate? It's not a debate where two sides work to defeat one another. That's not what we're here to do. Muhammad and Daniel are not going to fight. They may disagree, but the goal of the great debate is to come together and find common ground on the most important issues we face. That's what makes this debate great. We're looking for a deep, nuanced conversation on important issues, and that's what you'll see here. So welcome, everybody. Without further ado, I'm very excited to announce our guests. On my bottom left, we have Daniel Brooks, who is the founder and current board member of 3GNY, a nonprofit organization from the grandchildren of Holocaust survivors, whose mission is to educate the public on their family stories and lessons of the Holocaust. As an Israel advocate, he has organized demonstrations, spoken on panels, and written op-eds in the Times of Israel. Daniel is currently Associate Director of Fuel for Truth and an educator with Club Z, both nonprofit organizations dedicated to Israel education. On my bottom right, Mohammed Faraj is a Palestinian American that has lived both in Palestine and New York. He is currently a graduate student at Brooklyn College for bilingual childhood education. He dedicates his free time discussing various topics, including the Palestine-Israeli conflict and advocating for human solutions to the conflict. Welcome, guys.
Thanks for having me.
Pleasure to be here.
Pleasure.
So, it's interesting. The guests generally send in their bio. Sorry, I still have this exploding kombucha here. I'm trying to take a sip. But Mohammed, you sent in your bio to me, and it says Palestine-Israel conflict, and I've never called it that before. I just read it off as Palestine and Israel conflict, and it was super counterintuitive because my whole life I've known it as the Israel-Palestine conflict. So it's interesting how which side of the border you were born on or what your side is. It's kind of how you frame the conflict. So it's an interesting observation that I just experienced firsthand. Before we get started on the topics, I'd like to just give you both a few minutes to explain what your connection to the land of Israel and Palestine is. Whoever wants to start, the floor is yours.
Go ahead, Daniel.
Great. Thanks, Mohammed. So I grew up in New York City. I'm Jewish. Not Israeli. Grew up the grandson of 4 Holocaust survivors. And as you mentioned, Adar, I founded that organization 15 years ago, 3rd generation New York. Growing up, the connections I felt to Israel were primarily a couple things. It was my Israeli cousins who'd sometimes visit New York. I have aunts, uncles, other cousins who are Israeli, who live in Israel. A few of them actually just made Aliyah. And my mother, who was a marketing executive for an Israeli bank, Bank Hapoalim in New York, when I was growing up. So I was actually ensconced in like Israel marketing materials here and there. So I did get this generic kind of pro-Israel understanding without really fully knowing what it was. I first visited Israel on an organized trip in 1993. This was before birthright, so the parents had to pay up. I've been there 4 times since. And as I mentioned, I grew up sort of understanding Israel in a generic sense, but it was really in 2001, during the second Intifada, that I committed to educating myself more. I remember just reading coverage of what was going on, the bombings, Israel's military responses, and I recall feeling that it was unfair, and without really knowing exactly why. There might have been some moments where I was like, oh, that I know that to be not true, but I was embarrassed that I didn't really know why, yet I felt it was unfair. And so I was like, that's not acceptable. Like,
God, just sucks you in. That's the thing. Really intelligent.
It does, yeah. I mean, this is people telling their personal stories. Yeah, as you say, it's a difficult topic and well handled.
It is. It's serious.
It's
Well
interesting.
worth watching.
So many different ways of doing it. Yeah. Right, another person who's worth watching, and I've just been over to the channel to put our comment on, and the 4th video is this one.
Cool.
And this is our good friend Gospel. And Gospel has this show every Monday, and it's a word for the week. And the word for the week this week is purpose. And I'll let Gospel explain. She's been doing this series for quite a while. I think it deserves wider recognition, which is why Gospel is on the show today. So going to go full screen, switch off microphones.
Hard to find your purpose. Why are you here on this earth? And you might be feeling, oh gosh, there is so many things out there already going on. I cannot fit in. Or you might be thinking to yourself, why is life so hard? Why is it so hard to find my purpose? There's no such shortage of people who can help, inspire, and even support. But then we have reasons in our mind telling us why why we can't find our purpose, or why we may not even know what our purpose is. And it could be that we're thinking that, gosh, the world's problem seems to be so big, just too huge, and you seem that you're very, very small, and just you trying to do stuff, fix your purpose. Is like you just give up basically, and you thinking to yourself, golly, the world problem is too big. The world problem is too big, and you're feeling tired of life, tired of things around you. You're even thinking that, oh, I don't even have the energy to fight anymore. I don't have the energy to do anything anymore. The world's problem just seems too big for me to start tackling. And you wonder, so why am I even here? What is my purpose here on this earth? Situation.com in this world is too much. Well, good morning and happy Monday. In just a minute, I'm going to share with you ways that I think that you can start using to help you find your purpose in life. You might be thinking that this is so overwhelming. The world's problem is so overwhelming, and you're just this tiny bit of person that is of no significance. You might be thinking that. But I'm going to share with you steps that you can start doing, things that you can start doing right now to help you find your purpose. Okay? And before I get on with that, welcome. And this is Monday Morning One Word for the week. My name is Gospel Emiara. Before we get on with the show for real, properly, let's hear from our lovely sponsors. So our sponsors for today is Co-work Hub.
I like it. Extra
Sorry.
review for the sponsor.
coworkhub.co is the place we should all go to afterwards and help. And it's brilliant that the show is sponsored, which is awesome. Gospel is just such a nice person, and she spends her time helping people, teaching youngsters how to handle finance. And this word for the week, she's been doing for years now. And the first 2 minutes she thought, this is not good. This is not going to build me up. It's going to make me feel miserable. And then the switch comes at 2 minutes, and all starts to get better. So congratulations to Gospel. And as I say, we will put links to all the broadcasts afterwards, so you can watch them on YouTube and comment. So we've had 4 very different videos today, Nick.
But it never ceases to amaze me just how different people's videos are, and that's the nice thing, that we're getting to see so many different genres of how people live stream. And you know, you're obviously well known for being a great advocate and lover of all things live stream, but it constantly just triggers another little thought in your mind, thinking, oh, I'm going to try that, or maybe I'll try and do that as well. And it's like being able to watch someone else without just experimenting yourself, as an example. I'm certainly going to have a go with Kim's moving the frames around, because I think that was really effective. But to do it, but still retaining attention, that's where I might suddenly go wrong.
Well, yeah, it's because you're actually hosting the show. Sometimes your attention does wander when you've got to go and look after things. But Janet gave a great example of actually staying focused and listening to what your guest says and reacting at the right times. Naturally, I mean, it's just a natural conversation between two people, and then gospel is gospel. Right. Okay. Tradition is I start the show, Nick closes the show. Nick, it's over to you.
Thank you, Steve. Well, everyone, listen, we hope you've had a great time watching these videos with us. We really appreciate people for sending their videos or letting us actually show the video. So if you've got a video that you want us to put on screen, as you now know, we'll be commenting, liking them on YouTube. So that should help you get more views. So please do let us have a look at the videos, and we shall put them on screen and show the world. Until next Monday, obviously, we shall return next Monday, 3 p.m. GMT, 10 a.m.
Yep, you got it.
10 a.m. Pacific. I'll get it right.
Sorry, 10 a.m. Eastern.
10 a.m. Eastern.
We'll see you next week. Take care, everybody.